I know.
I have Irish in me and I have Viking in me. I can't get out of that part of the world. I have my grandmother was my um, grandmother was came over in the 1890s, I think. A potato famine person. So, but
Yeah.
my parents were. My mother was orange. She was an orangeman, and because down here in the States, all I ever celebrate is the green. She used to let me wear shamrock and all that stuff, but she told me later in her life it really bothered her that I had to go out and play like I was Catholic.
Irish and Viking too for Pegasus.
Same famine. Yep. Don't rely on one crop.
But directly, I'm Norwegian Swiss.
Ah,
Norwegian from my mom's side, and that's the big ones.
yeah. Well,
And
being from Wisconsin, that's hardly a shock.
Love and light. Yep. Northwoods, 19 degrees. Yeah, it's like 16 degrees with wind chill here, but yeah, you can hear the wind just going.
Oh, yeah. I remember those winds. Why does wind make more noise when it's cold?
I know, right? You
I
never
don't know.
hear it when it's warm. That's crazy, right?
That's right. It's raining down here, which is okay because in Texas we need rain.
I want to start a trend. Wear blue in November, fifth to the polls. Ah, yeah, that might be a interesting thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you're coming up to voting, a few days before, always wear blue
Mm-hmm.
when you're out and about. Maybe people subliminally think vote blue.
Vote blue and take your 5 bluest friends with you to vote.
Yes. Okay. You said you could do this in 2 seconds.
Yes. Question, please. If I were to if I wear for long term, anyway, she's talking about wearing a particular piece of jewelry to expand my intuition. What stone could I choose? Amethyst is pretty. Malachite's really good because it's also very grounding. Um, and really, any stone you would hold in your hand and empower it, that you're going to wear it, hold on to it, and you want it to work with your intuitional work. That's 2 minutes. Choose whatever color stone you really like. So,
Might as well. Okay. Get back to live here.
okay. Julie's live. That's a live question.
Oh, is there a red state for Biden? Okay. Georgia removed from this. Okay. Just starring.
Okay. He's trying to go through so that we don't miss questions. And then when we click off, we go, oh, damn, I should have answered that one.
Okay, you got Julie's. Okay. Okay. We'll go back for you, Kevin. Usually we only do politics on Sundays, current events or whatever.
And real estate is not in our wheelhouse for either one of us, really.
So you said, yeah. You said not to do the Pakistan thing.
Mm-hmm.
Good. We didn't really see it because it seemed questionable. And then you wanted
Estonia.
And go ahead, Nancy.
I do know about Estonia. I have a friend who has an apartment in Estonia. He's a designer. here, and he was a good friend of mine. And I even have a deck of Estonian tarot cards. The future of Estonia, I talk to Rob all the time about it. They're scared to death that Putin's just going to roll over the border because they're some of the littler places. But they're really lovely people. And, you know, I don't know what your friend does for a living, but like Rob supports himself being a designer here, but he totally loves being in Estonia. He absolutely adores it. So Estonia's, I don't know anything about Karachi, but I do know something about Estonia. And I would think Estonia, he's just going to need to get a good winter coat. Although I understand parts of Pakistan can be very cold. So
yeah, you know the old saying, "Home is where the heart is."
mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter where you live. Just make sure you're safe and make the right decisions. You'll be
Mm-hmm.
happy anywhere as long as you're subsistent. But I got the Ace of Wands, the
Mm-hmm.
card, and then make good choices.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically telling me is like home is where the heart is. As long as you're safe and make good choices, could be spiritually illuminating there too. That card.
Mm-hmm. It's a very nature-driven religion up there. Even the form of Catholicism that's there is very driven by their nature worship. So
Just reading what a few guys said here quick.
okay.
Well, good.
Yeah, those guys don't want this. They
Thank
don't.
you. Okay.
They're like anybody else. They don't want this trial to go.
Planning delay justice, hoping to. Oh yeah. You can see that's why the whole reason Mike Roman brought the thing is delay, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to, but you can't pardon state crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is about delay and pray, but they're hosing the state crimes. So I think it feels like the whole reasoning is trying to get the case dismissed for
Mm-hmm.
false prosecution or something like that. But we got the verdict with Judge McAfee, so I doubt it would probably. Go ahead.
Oh, apparently, I was telling Scott this before we came on. There's some paragraphs, or at least one in particular, about a woman who was the county chair of a Republican Party, and he really took her apart and said, "Don't you dare try this." She had put before the court something that would have required them to put Fonnie Willis on the stand when they're at trial, and McAfee said he won't let it stand. But yeah, they're going to try anything they can.
So I get here, no, the evidence is there. They did the investigation properly, and they will lose.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, they will lose. Moneta Flores feeling like the investigation that went on, all the prosecutors, FBI, everything that went on there, local prosecutors. Ten of Coins is all about the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the bad karma, and they will lose. But yeah, just feels like that's the whole thing. Delay.
Yeah, I asked if they would lose this case, and I got yes, because they've sent all kinds of misleading information. That's information moving back and forth, and it's not helping them. They all got in this together. They did it together, and then they all got in the same boat. And power is going to find out the truth, and all it's going to cost them is a whole lot of money.
Yeah. It just costs money. It just feels like they have no case, so they're just doing it through the they're doing it through the media.
Mm-hmm.
Like 45 is doing. throwing it out there in the atmosphere, what he says and what they do is to influence jurors.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they're doing. That's the only thing they got is to put it out in the, the ether, so people here that could be possible jurors to persuade a hung jury.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy town. This should never happen. I don't remember I don't know. I don't know all the cases, but do you remember the mob going out there and speaking all the time? And
No, but I remember guys who supposedly ran major criminal organizations all of a sudden are wandering around New York in their pajamas and playing like they're mental. So,
we got a mental case. Oh, yeah, Jeff. RFK already chose a woman, a wealthy woman, a black woman as his running mate, not Aaron Rodgers. Because Jeff was asking, must have missed that report, but he wanted to know if Aaron Rodgers was going to be RFK Jr.'s running mate. I know, right, Liz? I'm so tired of delay. I had to Google it. I can't remember offhand, but it was a black woman. Wealthy. She was connected to something else. There was connections there.
I'll look it up, and if I find it, I'll let you know. So
Um,
now,
yeah, hit the like button. Thank you.
yes, please. And if you really think we say something fun, forward it to a friend. Now, share. YouTube supposedly looking at that.
Yeah, YouTube don't like me. I don't know what's going on.
They're still on your case?
Yep. Our show. Yeah, our last Sunday show got dinged for ads. I had them review it, and it said, "Oh no, it's fine."
Yeah, that's a game they play.
Oh yeah. Speaking of delays,
Mm-hmm.
the Manhattan DA got delayed thanks to SDNY. I don't remember us ever looking at delays. It always just came in like, "Yep, he'll be prosecuted."
Okay, her name is Nicole Shanahan.
Yeah, that's the name. There you go. I don't have do I have a banner? No, I don't.
Oh, she was married to one of Google's co-founders. That's where her money came from.
I don't know. I was reading there was a connection to him or something, but no matter. It's amazing they've been doing it.
Okay.
Let's see what the universe has to say about this delay.
Okay.
The SDNY drop at the final hour. Thanks, Christine. Nicole Shanahan.
Yeah, and it looks almost like someone doesn't know how to stop writing her name. It's like SHANANNA or something. It's like one of those names.
Okay. Last Saturday night, Hogarth got demonetized too.
Okay, I asked the question differently. I asked if there's Russian money in SDNY. We know there is because I already got one guy, right? I got 5 yeses. That's what's happening in S. I don't know why they don't take that whole office out of there and move a whole bunch of new people in. That's what they did with Elliot Ness when they moved him in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you mean? There's compromised people in SDY, as you're saying?
I'm saying that somehow there's ever since they busted that one guy and they just got him. I mean, he was basically taking his rubles into the bank. I mean, it wasn't even close. But I just feel like there's well, it's the same thing as when Rudy was all over SDNY.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, "Oh, something's going to come out and get Hillary." And what do you know? The next day, Comey's out there starting the false rumor about her computer, which was the last. I mean, it all comes out of SDNY, and they say it's not Southern District; it stands for Sovereign District of New York. They don't think they have to answer to the Justice Department, and I've always thought it sounded like a very bad way to run an organization.
SDNY messed with Cohen, thanks to Barr.
Mm-hmm.
But there was pushback from not who was. Well, Trump had multiple people at SDNY fired.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to get Vance fired, and that at Manhattan and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, I don't.
You don't feel that? Because
not that it's in there to obstruct.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really sense that. There's payoffs within SDNY to obstruct justice. So let's go back what I read. Bragg asked for any documents back in July of 2023. Didn't receive a thing. Then the Trump team subpoenaed documents from that in January. Now they do a dump 2 months later. It's sad, suspicious. So what I sense is that they were never going to give over any information. But they were required to because Trump did. Trump team subpoenaed those documents. And it probably has to do with Michael Cohen to try to get some crap on him.
Yeah, that's what it was for. It was to get all of the records of every time he talked.
Right. That's what okay. So what I get here, there's some kind of I don't get like a 9-10 of coins, which would mean money flowing in, that kind of thing. I get lack thereof, lack of evidence or lack thereof. It almost feels like hiding something. And Knight of Cups and Justice. So with these cards, what SDNY has done in the past is that they have evidence in the light of justice that they don't want to give out. So it's possible they had to retract or didn't do something, to give up, right? So that page of coins, that's directing the money, moving things. They're burdened by something. And then bad karma and loss. So they're burdened by losing something else by delivering the documents. This is what I'm seeing here. And in the end, I think there's ongoing investigations here at SDY with this whole Michael Cohen payments. Could be tax evasion, money laundering or something. Because I have my FBI guys and all the prosecutors going to work. There's some anxiety about something with money, and still Page of Swords here is like still prosecuting something new, something going on. So I think there was something there that they didn't really want to share that could tip off the Trump team or whatever they're doing, whether they're because Letitia James did send over to SDNY about here's the stuff,
Mm-hmm.
here's the taxes,
Mm-hmm. And they didn't do anything.
and they haven't shown that they're doing anything. But I think they are with these cards. I think it has to do with in the long run of justice. And they would probably take over any, money laundering or any kind of bad finances within the federal government purview. Supposedly, there's still an ongoing IRS audit, 45.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the infamous audit that no one worked on.
There was quite a few months ago, there was a dump transferred from the Trump campaign money
Mm-hmm.
and a little annotation because it came in through it's not something that usually gets gone out of the public unless a good reporter gets it, but through the auditor, the Jones lady, Barbara Jones, she forwarded stuff to, Letitia James and in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed he paid $29 million in back taxes through a transfer from the Trump campaign. So he must have been trying to, straighten out something with taxes.
Well,
But anyway, I think it just has to do with ongoing investigations. That's what my sense is.
oh dear.
There's a new CIA symbol. I didn't see that one.
No, somebody
What?
said that.
What's that?
Somebody said it's. I haven't seen it. Not that that's hot on my list of things to look at.
You were just talking about that. DeSantis wants to release the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
He might not have a long time. So you read he had a schedule for that, and you said it was just before the national.
Oh yeah, they're going to be released in July, right before the national convention.
Why on earth? If he's true Republican, why would he want to destroy Trump in that route?
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I'll get you one way or the other.
That's hilarious. Oh yeah. Every once in a while I hear like, oh, there's gonna be a Epstein files dump, and it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what the heck DeSantis can get a hold of that's any different that hasn't been out there.
Oh, it's all the depositions of the girls that they used, and all of how they were sent to certain men, and all kinds of stuff, and Trump's name's in there.
Of course it is.
It's all the crap you really hope you never had to hear about.
Is that supposedly from the 2008 or the latest?
No, this was when they jailed him in Florida. Epstein in Florida, when he got his sweetheart deal.
So everything from the 2008 in Florida, where they let him off with 13 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that a federal case? How can a governor do this?
I have no idea. This stuff just makes no sense. The lines get so blurred.
There's so many blurs.
There's so many blurs.
Okay. Steve had a great question. Is that what it was? Oh,
No.
yeah.
In South, I'll tell you one thing: the Republican Party and people that are part of it and the far right have bought up so many Spanish-speaking radio stations. So this is where I cannot help you because if they're speaking Spanish, I no comprende. But this is how they won in Florida. They spent more in Florida on Spanish speaking media that the Republicans did than the Democrats spent on the whole state. And that's how you do it. You just keep yelling this at people. And I'm not picking on the Hispanics. I think they just all of a sudden they're hearing this other side that they haven't heard before, or all their friends are talking about it, and it begins to make sense. It's just like if we didn't have Fox News lying to people every day, just think how much better off we'd be.
All right wing media.
And Newsmax. Yeah, and they really, really, truly have targeted Hispanic, and in particular, no offense, guys, but Hispanic males, and the whole macho kind of male dominance that's part of MAGA is ties totally into culturally what I've lived around my whole life, and I'm not picking on them. I've run campaigns in Hispanic neighborhoods, and it's the truth.
I just tossed some cards on that question. Texas turning Republican. I get technically no. It does feel like what's out there, like you were saying, and the disinformation is a different offer that causes anxiety.
Right.
But everything else is a sense of community and heritage. Going with the flow, hardworking people.
They are.
And I got generally, no, eventually they'll vote blue. Joe Biden, the Empress, love and family, the government. And here I got the sense of heritage and hardworking people and sense of community. But yeah, like you said, I think the disinformation that's being put out there is hurting the narrative in that sense. It's just the right wing Looney Tunes.
Well, the other part is that the right wing and that kind of displeasure ties into communities that are losing population, losing influence. And I just saw the map of how Texas has grown, and counties that have lost people and counties that have gained people. And I was shocked at how much depopulation there was in South Texas. I mean, I don't know where they're going, but the towns down there must really be dying. And the whole, if you're not closely aligned with a major urban center in Texas, you're dying. Well, same thing happened in the Midwest, after, in the 70s and 80s when all the businesses went away and manufacturing went away. So, and that just, if you're sitting there and you've built your whole life there, and it's really hard, you hit to be the age 50 and you think you're settled, and all of a sudden your community's gone economically. Yeah. I mean, if the people aren't there, that means the economy's not there.
Speaking of crazy disinformation, I just seen this morning that Kent State is it in Ohio?
It's in Ohio.
Yeah. Kent State is currently allowing, but there's a petition going around to stop it. But it's through that Turning Point USA clowns, right? They're They're the right winger. I think it might be Charlie Kirk and those guys.
Oh God. Okay, you said enough.
Yeah. So they're supposedly like a younger generation. So they want to have a a rally, a meeting, whatever at Kent State. And guess
Mm-hmm.
who they want to headline? Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh, Jesus.
So there's a petition going around. Kent State's officials said they have no affiliation. They're just allowing this to happen, but
I thought that was a private university anyway.
I'm not sure. But like I said, they want Turning Point USA as another disinformation campaign that poisons minds. But yeah, they want to have a guy that shot people, went to trial and got away with it. A nobody come and speak at Kent State.
Mm-hmm.
But they're fighting back. The other
Especially
people common sense are fighting back.
if you're in my generation, that's incredibly ironic, considering what happened on Kent State when I was in college, when the troops shot the students.
I think that was in 1970. I think
In the 1960s. It
60.
was 69. Mm-hmm. The ironic thing about that whole thing happening is I was majoring in broadcast film. Yes, you can get a degree in that, people, and it does mean you get to sit around and watch movies all day. And one of the movies we were watching was one about the Russian Revolution. That was a silent film, and there was a scene where the Russian soldiers turned and shot at the people, and it's a very key. It's the Potemkin. It's a long story, but anyway. And I thought, how horrible to have your own soldiers turn on you and shoot you, and it's the way it was put together, because it was a silent movie, is very graphic, and so. And I'd seen that the week before, and I remember sitting in the thing saying, "Oh, I live in the United States, and we've never done that." And then a week later, we were doing it. So, yeah. And it's a horrible situation. It's horrible for the guys who were the troops that were sent in there. And then it was horrible obviously for the students being shot at. So I find that's extremely ironic that 50 years later.
Yeah. It feels similar of Trump doing a speech in Waco.
Yes.
On that day, that kind of crazy stuff.
I need to move, Scott. I just decided I need to get out of this state.
Home is where the heart is.
TikTok future, please.
See, I listened to and read a lot about this, but most people say, why are we so worried about a Chinese thing with TikTok, with ByteDance or whatever, when we have oligarchs in the United States we can't even control with our different disinformation and whatnot,
Yeah, I heard
Zuckerberg, with our data and whatnot.
Right. Mnuchin's thinking about buying it.
I don't think that'll ever happen. Yeah, just another right winger, crazy to control our data and pump disinformation. It's all crazy, but let's see what the future is, huh?
Okay.
It's hard to have to say. I don't.
Okay, I can't.
We're going away.
Are we going to ask if it's going to stay in foreign hands, or if it's going to transfer to someone in? Is it going to? What are we asking? Is it going to last? Is it going to?
Usually, when I do a full spread like I do it tells me the story.
Okay.
Generally, if you want to do us on something, you do it on your own.
Okay.
But I'm just going to, throw this full spread and see what the future says. But internally, I don't think anything's going to happen to it. There's a lot of people that make money from it.
I'm going to ask if there's going to be any substantive change.
You go ahead then.
That's
the future of TikTok.
And I'm going to use my life is like a board game, because they're the most trimmed down cards I can think of. And since TikTok's taking everything down to 30 seconds.
Okay. Partnerships.
Mm.
The messaging. Uh, Initially, just browsing what came out is that I think somehow ByteDance is going to have to divest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, let's just go with this. So first, page of wands. That's the message gets out there by people using it. People love it.
Mm-hmm.
They're all pages in the past here. Page of swords, page of cups, page of wands. It feels like there's the threat. It's like the threat of how big it came, how big TikTok came. And then I get the High Priestess, Two of Cups, and Queen of Swords. That would suggest there is a partnership there that is not all on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
With the Queen of Swords. If I had a different queen there, I'd be like, this is all good.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a worry of data. That doesn't feel there. Then I have King of Cups, Two of Swords, and Judgment. And that means leadership. There's a problem with the leadership and the judgment upon them.
Mm-hmm.
That goes again to the little bit of worry about a foreign government having any access to our data and whatnot. In the end, the Hermit, it feels like people don't want to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
The Lovers, it's kind of like the Two of Cups, but that's like the connections and the partnerships will win. Walking away with the Eight of Cups and Three of Cups, a celebration. So that feels like the current connections have to walk away
Mm-hmm.
in order to it for a complete celebration of TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So some things have to walk away. So I would assume and feel that ByteDance or whoever currently on it has to walk away from it. But in the meantime, I don't think it'll ever. I don't sense that it'll be taken off the shelves. That kind of feeling.
Yeah.
They just want legislation or whatever to have that government or that company that's in China having power over it. It feels like, well, they can own shares or whatever, but they can't be ownership. That
Okay.
kind of thing. What do you
That's
think?
kind of what I got. I got that they made a whole lot of money at this. This is really what it comes down to. And it's not just money, it's the data and the ways to get to it. And then it goes, I asked if it was going to change substantially, and I got three no's. I got Queen of Wands reversed, the Nine of Cups reversed. I mean, their wishes that they could do it. And the High Priestess also reversed, which means hidden things can't be revealed. But then my out card was a yes. It's waiting patiently. So no matter who gets it, no matter how we think who we think they are, I'm going to tell you this right now from living with a person who does nothing but computer integrity and security. She tells me that there's no way that you can ever secure this stuff. So even if all that information that they're scooping out of your computers, when you sign up for anything, they want to know, what do you think about this? What do you, and that's all mined and kept somewhere. And once it's out there for everybody.
Right.
And as far as I'm concerned, it pisses me off that if I look at a product just like, oh, what is this? I don't even know what it is. And then I'm followed for 3 weeks on Facebook by, you want this version of it? You want this version of it? We're going to sell you this version. I mean, it does not go away. So I have friends who've left social media who are old and don't want everybody in their underwear drawer. But to me, it's the same thing. I don't think they can sell it, but they're still, as long as it's out there in some sort of chain of electronic information, somebody can come find it. And I'm much more upset about Google than I am about them.
Yeah, it's everything. It feels like it's all connected. Like someday, you know, everything's going to be censored in a way to help the ordinary people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like they're going to ban. Well, heck, I read China doesn't even allow TikTok in their country.
No, but they're over here mining. And, I think there's a lot of, trust me, there's a lot worse problems in the world, I think.
Yeah.
And I think part of the problem for them is that TikTok made they came in and created this thing, and it's not run by us. And so we ought to just let the Europeans handle it. They always seem to handle that kind of stuff better.
I don't know if it's, I don't, not for sure, but they said the head of the company or the headquarters is in the USA, but it's owned by ByteDance. So this is the guy I was telling you last week. He's in a Wisconsin rep.
Mm-hmm.
He's an ex-military, but he's Looney Tunes.
He's an R.
Yeah. And I told you I donated to his opponent, Democrat opponent. And he was the guy that was screaming in the background at the State of the Union. Yeah, he yelled out lies or something a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
No, they won't allow Elon to buy TikTok. He can't even run Twitter or run it, whatever.
X or whatever it's called.
I don't know. It just feels like an agreement to divest or something. It's somewhere that we need to do our own oligarchs, like Elon Musk and.
People just need to understand that once something's out in the electronic world of computers, once it's out there as a 1 or a 0 out in that bit and byte world, it's gone. So I don't care what you do. You're not going to get rid of it.
Yeah. I don't even care anymore. My information's been out there from so many different things and saying different things. They know everything.
That's okay. Oh,
as long as my identity and money doesn't get taken, I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, somebody asked what demonetized means. What demonetized means is when YouTube, if you have premium YouTube, you don't get ads. If you watch live shows, they don't run ads in the middle of live shows, do they?
No.
I don't know. Okay. So when you guys watch this, it comes through as a flow. When people watch it later, they break it. If they don't have premium YouTube, they run ads to cover their costs. And we get a tiny, trust me, guys, it's a tiny portion of what that is. But to be demonetized means that YouTube isn't paying you for the use of the content you've created. Now, someone said, does that mean if I click donate, they're taking my money? Well, if you donate through YouTube, yeah, they're taking 40% of it. They just do. That's the deal. That's what we live with. If you pay through PayPal or Venmo or whatever other things we might have attached to our websites, we get more of that money. But they can't take that. They don't take that in when they demonetize you.
Right. They'll run that. It's like, if they get someone reports your video or the algorithm catches something and they'll say, yeah, they'll still run ads, but we don't get any funds for it if we run the quick little ad before or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I read it's like if you give us funds through the super chat,
Mm-hmm.
it's like 30% they take. What I read.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's changed. I don't know. But yeah, we get like 4 cents a view or 0.4 cents a view or whatever. It's not a lot.
Mhm. Unless, of course, you share to all your friends and they all watch us, and then we'll get more people. But
Yeah,
trust
for
me,
like
Scott
the last,
and I we're not paying our power bills.
no,
We're paying it from YouTube.
I get like $20,
Mhm,
$20 a show. If we get the
mhm,
normal views, and I give you half. So,
mhm. Scott shares. He's lovely.
but yeah, speaking of that, I forgot my computer was having issues, so I forgot to click on the skippable ad on the front of this. So
Oh dear.
I lost $10.
Mhm.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not why we do it.
It's not why we do it.
All right. I can't remember the lady's name. I donated. I think it's Catherine, someone. But this is a Wisconsin flippable seat.
Hmm.
A Democrat, I think it was Ron Kind, I think, had that seat for a long time, but thanks to the toxicity of 45, it flipped red. It's kind of a rural district, but anyway. Will this MAGA Republican win in November?
Oh, okay.
Just go that route.
Yeah.
Derek Van Orton, MAGA Derek, win his seat back in November. There's a lot of people upset with him. And the word's getting out in his district.
That he's a little nuts.
Yeah, he is nuts. He did something again last week. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, Katrina Shanklin. Thank you. Yeah.
That's a lovely Wisconsin name, Katrina. It's not a name you hear down here much.
Future in November. Derek. It's tough to say spiritually because they're showing me it's close. It'll be a close, like most. You're talking 1-2%.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got it's really close. Because someone feels trapped by the opinions that they have to give. Um, but he's gonna lots of eights. I have eights, so eights are money and power. And on top of it, you've got the moon reversed, which means hidden things are not being unveiled. So
Yeah, I got the moon too in the end here. It does feel like he may lose.
well, I would see this more. It's a feminine card. It's a page of wands.
Mm-hmm.
That's the person that I think comes out in the end winning.
I have because in the end I have the 5 of Cups. That's the loss.
Mm-hmm.
That moon, that dark energy, that secrets, but then I have my angels and guides card, universal love coming in. I do have him struggling for funding in the current tower, the big karma coming, change.
Well, he's not going to get any money from the RNC.
That's true. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to go with the final 3 cards, and the outcome is that he loses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 of Cups loss, and I think the angels are trying to get positive reinforcement to people to change their minds. So it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's a fruitcake. He's Matt Gaetz in tights. That's I don't know why it came through that way, but Not that he's a cross-dresser or anything, but that's the reference I was sensing. Matt Gaetz in tights.
Oh dear.
Like maybe he's like a sidekick, a partner in crime, just to pull out MAGA nonsense. Let me try to miss anything.
I'm back. I had to call and get a battery for my computer. My mouse is not working.
Oh, okay.
So if I look very distracted, that's why. Ruben.
Gallego. And Carrie Lake. Oh, Gates is going to get his own. I'm not worried there.
Did you hear about him being subpoenaed to take part in a deposition?
Yeah. He's not charged with anything, but it's part of a civil suit or something by the...
Yeah, the girl who they said wasn't a reliable witness. Well, what happened was this guy who was with Gates and apparently is in some of these pictures, etc. He got worried that she might sue him, so he sued her. This makes no sense, but anyway, and so the girl has now ended up subpoenaing Matt Gaetz to support her part of the thing. So Matt Gaetz is getting subpoenaed by this girl because his ne'er-do-well friend is gonna got him into it. It's like, pick your friends better.
Who has plead the fifth? Yeah. He was ordered to testify.
Yeah.
They always think they can squeeze out of stuff.
I'm in Congress. I'm doing busy things.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, something like that, Dan. Matt Gaetz was subpoenaed by the woman he trafficked.
Yes. But not about being not about trafficking, but about this guy.
Yeah. The civil lawsuit to bring money, but Gaetz was just subpoenaed to testify against what he knows about the trafficking, whatever. Okay. Ruben Gallego or Carrie Lake? It probably should just focus on
right.
One. Okay. I'm going to go look at Carrie Lake.
I'll look at Ruben.
Carrie Lake winning November in Arizona. Carrie Lake is going through some things. She's got so many lawsuits and she's going to lose money and being sued left and right. And everyone says, no, it must go forward. You can't just kick it on the can. Okay. Carrie Lake in November. Okay. I don't like the initial cards. What's the ending? No. Some silly reason she's got momentum now. Two of Cups, Ace of Cups, King of Wands. It could be her messaging currently. In the past, I have a Tower affecting her. I think she's having problems with funding currently moving forward because I have the Hangman Hangman, 10 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. I don't think the big money's coming in for her right now. The Hangman, there's like delays and a lot of deliberating. The 10 of Pentacles is like the money. So like delays or struggles with funding. But in the end, I got a 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords, 5 of Wands, her messaging. 9 of Pentacles is peace of mind. She has no peace of mind. Magician feels like Ruben. It doesn't feel like her. But I get the 10 of Swords with her in the end. So she gets stabbed. I don't think it's close. I mean, they elected a Democratic governor. Why would they, as a whole, still want this crazy woman to be a leader? But I get no.
I got Ruben. That's a yes. It's a 10 of Swords. It means that's him leaving where he's been. This is a yes, and this is a woman coming in with lots of money, and that he's in with a group of people that are very happy to see him. And this is another celebration card, 3 of Cups, and this is the last card. The out card is it's reversed, but it's basically people letting go of what they've been holding on to so dearly. So I think he's going to win.
Yeah, I mean, like with the Van Orton race, that felt like close within a point or whatever. But this is like
this is not
5 to 7 points for Ruben. This doesn't feel close.
And people in Arizona have just been, ripped off by cinema. They're ready to not go down that road again.
Yeah, people that vote and whatnot. But right now, it's the misinformation kind of stuff that's keeping her up there a little bit. The polling. But no, when November comes around, I really don't see it that close. Close is a point or two. When you get up 5, 7 point, that's not close.
Well, 5 and 7 is a blowout.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So it feels like a blowout. We're talking about Cash Peters. Is that who it is? Yeah. We all love Cash. That's what you're talking about.
But he's taking a vacation.
Yeah, I seen that. On vacation. Everyone needs to chill and recharge and take a little vacay. Yeah, I think even with some cinema in, I felt Ruben a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, Cash had something about cinema? Or no, Carrie Lake?
Carrie Lake, yeah. That's your one going to win.
I kind of watched it. I think I was dozing off. I had to rewatch because I don't think I was really focused.
It's not that we think we readers put you to sleep, but
No, I think it was just Saturday is usually my day to decompress, so I usually don't focus on much. When you do 10, 12 hours a day at work, I don't get much relax time during the week. I think Thursday was a 12.5-hour day. No, I got to take this banner off.
Manhattan DA delay.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, comments. Come back to me. Okay, we did that. Okay. Interesting question. Ken Buck's leaving. And he made a comment. There could be more.
Yes. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to use the fact there's 2 left and then the Dems own the place. If I was sitting out there as a strategist, I'd see Ken Buck has his retirement income. He'll get his government salary till the day he dies. So he can leave, and it's not going to cost him financially. And unless he's really tied to liking to be followed around by reporters, and that happens to them, um, he doesn't, and or he has some driving need to want to stay there, and he doesn't have any driving need to want to stay there. So retiring is not bad for him, but I'm sure there's other people in the same situation. And as a strategist, I think I'd go to the speaker and say, "You want to stay speaker? We're going to start passing things that have to do with humanity, like some of the, this limping from payment from government shutdown to government shutdown is not helping them either." What I suspect's happening is now Johnson said he had no idea that Buck was going to leave. He didn't tell him he was retiring. He read it in the papers, which is not a great, if you're leading an organization, that's not a really great way to deal with that. But if I had other people who are of a similar mind, they just can go to him and say, "I'm going to leave and you're not going to be speaker anymore anyway." So, you can either listen to Orange Jesus or do your job. And I think that's why others may be leaving. Scott and I saw over a year ago that by summer, Hakeem Jeffries could be the Speaker of the House. And at the time, we thought it was going to be the feds coming in and swooping out the January 6th people. That, to me, would be a better way to do it. But if we just let them leave by attrition, any way that gets them out of there and gets them out of control is fine by me. I don't think he has another reason for retiring other than he's sick and tired of it.
Of course. Let's see if this works. If I can pick. I don't know if that highlights
what
before I read on it, but I was telling you the story about Hal Malchko. He's the guy that is choosing end of life due to due to dementia or Alzheimer's. But he had a last message for Democrats. It was in Politico. I was able to read it for free. I can't tell if it's highlighted to be able to click on it.
Okay.
But people want to write it down to read that story. It's heartwarming and good. But his name is Hal Malchko.
How do you spell Malchko?
Let's see if I can show it.
Yeah, that's there.
Hal Malchko. It's a really good story. And he's probably passed now. I don't know. The story, he was in Switzerland to end his life due to dementia and Alzheimer's, not being the same person anymore. So, like I said, it was a good article.
And he was a very important Democratic operative back in
a long time.
Like developing mail-in ballots and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he helped Clinton. He helped others. He was the one that kind of started before we had the internet, with mailings, mailers on how to, approach voters and how to talk to voters. And he left it when all the crazy started happening, 2010, 12-ish.
That's when I quit.
When all you see is lies instead of actual progress. And he advised, but he, quit what he was doing. It's a good story. Okay. There was another question by Jacqueline. Oh, okay. I see it. Starred. Okay. Ken Buck and others.
Okay. We saw 8 being gone a year ago, and Buck makes 4 that have left for one reason.
Was there 8? I can't remember.
Yeah.
What that number was, but we've seen quite a few.
Oh, well, we saw as a total, if they went after the January 6th one, it was between 38 and 40. That was House and Senate.
Right. Okay. Are there going to be more leaving after Ken Buck? We're only in March.
I know.
A long way to go.
I don't know why any of them are staying, considering their organization that's supposed to be the center of them is now being taken away from them and handed all to one person.
Okay. Starts with the 10 of coins. And the end. Okay, let's see. In the past, the Ace of Wands, that energetic passion, the Temperance.
Mm-hmm.
There's time. You got to take your time. There's flow of information and then judgment. The energy is weighing heavy on those who don't like this judgment upon them. The crazy, right?
Right.
Then I have the lies and deceit are mounting heavily upon them.
Mm-hmm.
So the Seven of Swords, the trolls, the deceit, 10 of coins about great treasures. The great treasures aren't really there. And then the High Priestess. Using your intuition. What should I do? What should I do? Then I have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands. There's energy, movement, hope. Ace of Cups. The love abound, doing the right thing. And then choices. Two of Swords, what to do. There's a problem coming. In the end, the Ace of Swords. The breakthrough. The truth of coming.
The cleaving, the cutting through.
Seven of Cups. The illusions, the true visions of what to do. And then I have a death. And Six of Coins. The Republican Party. So that says, yes, there is some leaving. I get a Six of Coins. Could it be six of them? Or six total?
Six would be the total at that point.
We have what? Who left? McCarthy left. Buck left. Was there any others?
Buck left. Santos was thrown out.
No, Santos was thrown out. So that would mean three.
And there was one in New York who retired for other reasons. And they ran his race. Not just Santos. There was another one, I think.
There was another one.
Pennsylvania. It's in Pennsylvania. Maybe.
Oh.
No, that was their house. That was in their state house. It gets so confusing.
People
used to be elected and stay, you know?
But yeah, there's one. What? So technically, after Buck leaves, there's +1 for the GOP.
Right.
Yeah.
And as Scott and I were discussing, Lauren Bobblehead wants to run for Buck's seat, but now it's going to be in a special election, and she has to resign her seat. So that's another one gone.
Yeah, she's got a choice: either to stay,
and lose in November, or move and lose now.
And lose in November.
And considering that it took her 6 times to pass the GED, she'll probably pick the lose now.
Yeah, big choices. So according to these cards, I got a death in the end, meaning an ending. So it looks like there's a few more. If I go in by a 6 or the 7 I had in the end, that would mean 3 more.
Well, I've got more leaving. I got, yes. They're all getting in the boat. they were willing to win at any cost, but guess what? They found out there's something beyond what they thought was the willing at any cost. People just don't want to live in regret and loss. And there's going to be a party at the end. Somebody's going to be celebrating. So
Ian read or heard that Bobert is staying in Colorado 3.
okay.
So now she has to run in Colorado 3 now?
Yeah, and that means she's going to lose in November instead of losing now.
Well, it would be kind of dumb to resign to run there.
When she's already lost a straw poll over there. She came in 4th.
Right. We're saying they're walking. They're retiring like Buck before November.
Right. What this is based on is a vision we had that by sometime in this summer that Hakeem Jeffries would be Speaker of the House.
Yeah. We've said this and seen that because that before January 2025, we sensed that Jeffries would be Speaker before. Okay. Clarence had a few. Oh, bless you, Claudia. $13.99 in Canadian. Okay. Let's take Clarence's too. And it's good to see you, buddy. I hope all is well. Love to you. I don't see it ever happening. It's all BS talk. Unless we're all wrong and the Republicans take over everything in November or next January. I don't see it. That's the only way that would ever happen if Republicans have all three, or they would talk about it. I think then even their BS, they would never do it. But let's see what the cards say.
Let's say in the next 10 years, Scott.
That'll be good, yeah. Or didn't the Biden administration just give a raise for Social Security in January?
Yeah. Yes.
Couple dollars.
Yes, you're talking to one of the happy recipients. I'll take everything I get.
There you go. They won't cut. I doubt they would cut any of those entitlements, but they would control our lives otherwise.
The Republicans were going to try. That's what I got.
10 years. Oh, the abuse of control, the Five of Swords. Jesus. They've already shown it. They've already shown what they're doing. Yeah, they're already showing and telling us what they want. Project 25 and what they say. The Sun, the conflict, Ace of Swords. They're already bringing everything to light. And then I have It's an Illusion. Seven of Cups. Ace of Wands and the Five of Cups. If they want to lose or ever win again, sure, go ahead and take those entitlements. And then in the end, I have, no, it's secure. It will be secured. Nine of Coins, Queen of Coins, and the Strength card. Love, respect, harmony, and the money's there. So it may be talked about, it may be illusion, but when in the end of the day, when they see the polling numbers and all that, if you ever want to win an election again, don't take that away.
Yes, that's the third rail.
On the bottom of the deck, Ace of Swords, restricted from doing so. So I don't think they would even have three branches of government to even, or I mean, House, Senate, President to even attempt to do it. So no, I think it's secure.
The Supreme Court could come in and decide. Then you want to see, you want,
Yeah, that's true. Bring along to the Supreme Court, and 5-4, they'll say, "Yeah, all your entitlements must go."
and if you think January 6th was a mess, wait till old people with canes and stuff are walking up those steps.
Yeah. Grandpa coming to the steps of the White House. You're not taking my Social Security away.
It won't be grandpa, it'll be me
And Grandma.
and grandma.
No, I don't see it ever.
No, I got the Empress reversed, the Hierophant reversed, the Two of Pentacles reversed, and the King of Cups reversed, saying no, this ain't gonna happen. The only one that was there is they're gonna go find the money, however they have to do it. So,
Right. I know it's not entitlements, it's what you earned. Sorry
yes.
for saying those words.
It's because we get brainwashed and we get used to those words.
Yeah. It's what the GOP says. So we're reading on that GOP. It's stuck in my mind because that's what they say. So is SCOTUS taking on that case or something? Marriage equality?
They're talking about it, but they're just talking all around it.
Wasn't there a red state that just
They're trying to pass something, but they haven't gotten very far.
there's a red state that just Virginia. Youngkin actually signed it
Oh, did he?
for marriage equality to allow gay couples to marry, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it. Youngkin, he actually signed it. Will dollars be borrowed? Do you know if that ever happened?
Yes, that happened. That happened.
I read something about
Reagan. It started under Reagan. They could write checks against the Social Security Trust Fund, and it just kept happening. And then when Clinton was in there and they balanced the budget, it stopped. And then when Bush came in, he said, "Oh my God, we have a surplus," but they still hadn't paid the Social Security Fund back. And so he sent everybody checks. Remember when Bush did that? And then he left us in a hell of a mess. And then Obama came in and he tried to clean it up, but he was fighting against those. But no, the money that was borrowed, if all the money that had been borrowed from Social Security was returned with the interest it should have been earning, there would not even be a question about paying people what it's worth. Plus, you got to realize, guys, COVID took away a lot of people that would be collecting. And if you look at when people die, the average age that they die, white women like me, we get the most out of Social Security. And actually minorities get the least because they don't live as long. So yeah, I know all about Social Security.
Yeah, I did read something about that long ago.
And it was in when they borrowed it, there were provisions for it to be repaid.
Yet the GOP never talks about that, right?
No, the GOP sort of gets mentally blank when it comes to Reagan. All I remember is the shining city on the hill. That wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know. Jack Smith hasn't called me in weeks.
He doesn't have you on speed dial? He's a little busy?
Yeah. No, they don't admit when they talk to psychics. Trust me, I used to read lawyers, and they never would admit. I mean, and that's fine because I understand.
Did I start that?
Which?
Oh, I wanted to make sure I kept that. Anyway, because I wanted to put up, then I was, never mind. I would lose it if I didn't look. Monica said, I'm 69 and still have to work because my rent doubled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really sucks. Of course, even if I was retired, I'd still want to do something. Whether working at a gas station or whatever, but
I don't know as I
I can
go.
work for as long as I can drive and move a little bit. I can work my current job until I'm keeled over.
Yeah, I think my lesson was watching people stop meant that they really were deciding to stop. And since apparently I've been told by 3 or 4 different mediums I'm going to live to be 100,
Ooh, dang girl,
I don't want to stop.
100.
Mhm. Yeah, that used to sound like a promise. Now it sounds like a threat.
I don't know if it's true or not because it never came true, but if people ask me, I'm showing a number.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who knows if it's true? I know.
Well,
It was. I think it was early 2000s. Some reader claims that I did. One of those online reader things.
mm-hmm.
The website Keen. I don't remember. Well, anyway.
I don't go to readers, Scott.
Well, I did back in early 2000. But anyway, it was the website Keen, and you call them. You have an
Mm-hmm.
account. And money gets drawn out of your account for your minutes, right? So she claimed if you sent me your palm, a number appears on her palm. And that reader said the number shown was 86 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows if it's true? So I see a number in my mind if someone asks. I never look at
Mm-hmm.
it, but these have always been 20, 30 years down the road. So I don't know if it's true or not.
You know what I say to people when they ask me how long they're going to live? Well, you're going to make it to tomorrow. Now, do you know what you're going to do with tomorrow? And they're like, well, I'm not really sure. And I said, then why do you care about another 20 or 30 years?
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. I remember getting asked about Haiti
Mm-hmm.
a couple years back, and
Mm-hmm.
I go, I see a lot of chaos, but something big is going to happen in September. Well, the president was assassinated in September. So in a way, I predicted a death, but didn't know. They weren't telling me the whole truth, but I said it. Now let's throw a couple cards. We only got 8 minutes left already.
Okay.
Okay. Does Jack Smith have an indictment for Bedminster? Let's look at that.
Okay.
Does Jack Smith have an indictment ready? Jack Smith have an indictment ready? Jack Smith.
I get he doesn't have it in his pocket, but that he has all the pieces ready to roll if he needs to. But he doesn't already have all the documents. He hasn't filed anything.
That's what I feel. Because I was asking if he has an indictment ready, like a
Mhm.
sealed or something, and I wasn't really sensing that. And the cards kind of say it too. So
Mine says he's thought
right.
about it. He's thought about it. He's ready for it. He has not taken action yet. He's not wished to. He's doing it to have control, because the second they start looking around anywhere, then everything else goes nuts. And he's just not ready. But he is ready to make that move if he has to. He's got the 9 of Wands. So.
The Knight of Wands. Okay.
No, actually, I think it's the 7. It's the 7. He's ready.
No.
He's.
So I got the 7 of Cups, 10 of Wands, and the Moon. So it's like it may burden something else.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy. There is some secrets or something hidden that he has. So I do have protection. There's the 5 of Wands is kind of like lack of energy, obstacles. Ace of Wands is energy that is planned,
Mm-hmm.
teamwork there. And then my angelic card is like protection, intuition. So yeah, it seems to be hidden. Something is hidden. Um, my other cards were the Queen of Cups, Six of Cups, and the Page of Wands. The talker.
Mm-hmm.
45. Keep talking. Yeah, it would. It feels like if he does bring anything, it may disrupt the current. It's already been a struggle just to get the case, and you bring in a superseding indictment and more things that could disrupt the whole nonsense. So yeah, I think there's something there, but it didn't bring it to a grand jury for an indictment, that kind of thing. 126. Do you see anything in Star do you want to take on before we shut her down today?
Let's see, starred. The next Benedict non-binary student.
You want to take on that one?
Yeah. I'm just going to do, was it suicide? I don't think it was. I think that's a bunch of BS. But
Next Benedict. Me too, Clarence. Moms of Liberty needs to be shunned.
who?
The Moms of Liberty.
Well, I know people get tired of hearing me talk about it, but Ballotpedia did a whole thing on all the school board races. And Moms for Liberty, the Taliban with minivans, only got one seat out of all the ones they ran. And there was another group that got up against them, sort of moms on the other side. They won 90% of their races that they backed. So, just when, and you don't hear that in the mainstream media. So you think, what, is everybody else crazy? Well, no, maybe they're all fine. You're just not hearing it.
So I would look, so if it was a suicide, a bad death, I would probably look for a tower, 9 of swords, 8 of swords, so a lot of swords, a lot of conflicts, that really made struggle within.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
No.
I think she had a loving community within life, but the 5 of swords is a conflict, a struggle, fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was suicide. I think it was mostly from being beat up or hurt, because I have a loving community around her. It's just the bad people that cause things. She was heartbroken. I'm seeing heartbroken. Why? Why would you do this to me? No sense. I did nothing to you, kind of feeling. That heartbroken. The love, abundance, joy, and source I had, you took it away. It feels like the investigation wasn't done properly.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Knight of Swords, King of Cups, and the Chariot makes me feel like it wasn't done properly. So no, I don't believe it.
What I see is at the base, she had a lot of illusion and delusion. She had, oops, this one, the 7 of Cups. But she had a safe little cocoon around her. And this is the autopsy part. It was done with people with bad intentions, not doing things with right. That their whole idea of how the death happened is wrong. And it was done by a surgeon or someone with a knife. who's a malcontent. So I think it was set up to try and take the heat off their schools for not protecting the child.
Just horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Any senseless death is horrifying and sad.
Yeah.
Just send it out to the universe. Love, light, and protection to those that don't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of feeling is. Ugh.
You're gonna pull a card?
Yep. Love and light card. That's what Steph was sensing too. You see the picture and it's like, I'm a lovely person.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do this to me?
Fear, because they don't understand and they've been told lies.
Yeah, like my uncle. My uncle's a crazy.
Oh.
That type. He thinks immigrants aren't human, and that anyone that you're born a female or you're born a male. There's nothing else in this world that mattered. Yeah, he's old school. Ugh. Wow, I got all swords today.
Oh, really?
What'd you just say? Fear?
Mm-hmm.
Stop with the fear. Stop with the fear mongering. Stop with the worst case scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
To a winter, indecisions will hold you back. It's like you hear something in the atmosphere. And then you start flipping, oh no, maybe Trump will win, or maybe this person's going to do this, whatever. Stop with the fear. Flip-flopping on your mind and decisions hold you back. Take advice from a true professional and the common sense of the world. King of Swords is always about knowledgeable, experienced, fair-minded, and unemotional. So when disinformation or whatever information is out there, don't take it in. It's just information.
Mm-hmm.
Take the reasonable response, be calm with it, and use your guided mind for the proper decision. Don't get all anxiety because someone says something. There's always a process to everything. And everything works out in the end the way it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Stay away from the anxiety.
Guess what I pulled?
What'd you pull?
Surrender your fear of change.
Surrender. There's a lot of fear going on here.
Yeah, it says the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of change in your job, your health, a relationship, or if your own fear is aging and death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith and all is well. So that's what we're supposed to surrender this week. And you already saw it. So I think there's a lot of, well, I know that if you watch news all the time, you're going to go nuts. First of all, a lot of what you're hearing isn't true, or they're not telling you the truth beyond the truth. One of the things I heard this week, and I looked it up, and it's a real medical report. It's an international study. And of people who got the COVID vaccines and have kept up with them, that if you do get COVID, you are 96% less likely to have cardiovascular problems afterwards. All those people who have a lot of the post-COVID, or the long-term COVID, the ones who have the really serious cardiovascular problems are people who never got the vaccine.
Or got it before the vaccine.
Or got it before the vaccine was there. But,
my daughter's like that. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
My daughter's like that.
Mm-hmm.
She already had allergies a little bit prior.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she got it the summer before, that summer,
Mm-hmm.
working as a nurse, and now her allergies and whatnot are intensified.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was actually reading. I got someone that I follow on Twitter reposted it. This lady has a son who's like in their mid 30s, still cannot breathe right from getting it prior vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
and his life is hell.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's different with their DNA and how they are immune, but you know, like some that never took the vaccine, even 25 years old passed, and kids passed. Depends on their. But yeah, I finally got it here a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
I had every shot,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much close on time, and all I had was a sore throat, a little bit of a headache in the mornings, but my throat was raw, and that was it. I still could breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I still had energy. It's crazy. It only
Yeah.
like my throat was so raw. It was like
Mm-hmm.
it hurt, and I couldn't
Oh.
hard to swallow and whatnot. But it was
Mm-hmm.
weird. It's only my.
That's what happened to me the time I got COVID. I woke up and I said, no, this sore throat is not. It's like when I had mono, and I was hospitalized with it.
The headaches went away about after 3 days, but the throat ached for probably 10 days, 12 days,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And maybe lucky, I just happened to get my latest vaccine like 2 weeks before I found it.
Yes.
So,
Well, I went to visit a clinic to see if I wanted to switch where my main PCP was, and I'm not going to do it. I they it was very interesting, but they they were talking about that they were having more problems with people post flu now than COVID as much, and I the flu I had this December and January, it took me much longer to get rid of than the COVID. Left me very tired.
mm, so sorry, Diana. I'm glad you're on the mission to protect.
That's right.
That's how we do our best work is change.
That's right. And to learn from the lessons instead of saying, I'm going to get back at you. Revenge is never a great
Yeah.
thing to invest in.
And I've said that before. I decided to change on my upbringing, that I was going to be a better father than my dad.
Thank you, Claudia. It's kind of a weird number, but it's okay. It means something. Yeah, I wanted to. I remember the first time that my kids could actually turn around and look at me and say, "I'm angry at you," and they felt like they had the personal freedom to say that because in my household, no matter how infuriating my parents were, and trust me, guys, they could be. You'd pay dearly if you'd said that in that house.
Good saying, Janice.
That's right.
Living your best life. So, all should we do? Live our best life.
That's right.
And if there's those that don't agree with us, you can leave them behind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, find your clan, find your soul family.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you live your best life. Okay, we're going to take off. Remember, stay out of the fear.
That's right.
The cards today are stay out of the fear.
And it's really true. If you focus on what are those bad guys doing over there, and of course that's sort of the nature of the questions we get. I'd be happier if I'd see more of, is this going to work out for Biden, to give us some idea of how to put our energy that way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
But
Happy Patty's Day too. Yep, yep.
yes, if you are allowed to, or if it's part of your regimen, go lift a glass. And if you're not, then get a glass of root beer. But don't diet green. That's disgusting.
Yeah, yeah. They get cleaned up. We're gonna go see my daughters again
Ooh, and baby,
and baby.
and baby.
My youngest needs a little daddy fix it help first,
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
since they can't seem to do it. Yeah, kids. Well, we'll just delay it until Dad gets here, and then we'll let him do it. That kind of thing. All right, everyone, have a blessed day. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Okay.
Love and light.
Have a good week. Bye.